Legendary Guitar Productions presents a fan fiction story written by Victorian, based on all versions of Persona 3. Persona 3 Memento Mori. It's a long night. She'd known about the transfer student, sure, but it just slipped from her mind when the dark hour came. When the door opened, she instantly thought it had to be one of them. For the first time, she thought she might die. She was ready to grab the evoker. But what good would that have done if she couldn't pull the stupid trigger?
Mitsuru-senpai had been nearby, but that wasn't exactly encouraging either.
Kirijo, Yukari thinks with disdain, the family name bouncing around in her skull like it has been for months now. She'd been here for years, but suddenly there was the dark hour and monsters and students fighting them. And the whole thing was led by a Kirijo. That couldn't be a coincidence, surely. She's still awake for an hour after the dark hour ends. The new semester starts in the morning, but just telling herself to sleep isn't going to make it happen. All she can do is close her eyes and try not to think about anything. How she is supposed to clear her mind, though, is unclear to her. As if her failure today wasn't enough, now there were the two new students, the Yuki twins, to deal with. Why were they assigned to this dorm anyway? It would fall to Yukari to show them around tomorrow, to make sure they got to their classes in one piece. It was another burden thrown on her, one she was unhappy to bear. It was the dark hour when they arrived. That fact is stuck in her head like a living thing, worming its way through her every thought. Not only were the Yukis conscious, they weren't even disoriented. Neither of them showed any signs of mental or physical distress. Hell, they seemed calm, like it was nothing. The boy had looked bored. No one was supposed to adapt that quickly, not to something so strange and brutal as the dark hour. So if the Yukis had already adapted, it meant they were either incredibly easygoing or this wasn't the first time they'd experienced the dark hour. That thought keeps Yukari up for a while longer still. Eventually, she must have fallen asleep, because when she opens her eyes, it's light out. In a panic, she checks her phone, but she isn't late. There's still plenty of time to shower, dress, eat breakfast, and get going. If nothing else, that's a relief. It would suck to be late on the first day of school. She goes through the motions meticulously, cleaning herself thoroughly, dressing immaculately, making sure every detail was right. Even if she was unsure about the twins, she didn't want to make them uncomfortable. They were in a new city, a new school. Shunning them would be cruel.
Oh, senpai, you're leaving early.
I have student council to attend to.
Well, good luck.
Yukari makes herself some tea and toast, and took some fruit as well. Not a big breakfast, but enough to get her going this early. The twins are nowhere to be seen. Akihiko-senpai isn't around either, but she figures he's just going for a morning jog. He always does that first thing in the morning. Usually Yukari would try to do some exercises in the morning too, but she'd been up so late last night and overslept a bit. It can't be helped. she figures. The morning goes by quickly, and soon enough, it was getting to be time to go. With neither of the twins in sight, Yukari decides to just go up and get them. She starts with the girl. The light is visible under her door, so at least that means she's awake.
It's Yukari. Are you awake?
Yeah, come in.
Good morning. Did you sleep okay?
Well enough, yeah.
Mitsuru-senpai asked me to take you to school. Are you ready to go?
Totally.
Okay, let's go. We'll grab your brother on the way down.
Makoto was on his way out anyway. They caught him on the stairs, though he didn't notice them at first. His own headphones were on, and Yukari could hear some of the sound escaping from them, indicating that he had them playing particularly loud. Kotone gives him a tap on the back of his shoulder at the bottom of the stairs. He doesn't seem to jump at all. He just casually removes his headphones and says,
Yeah?
Time for school?
I'm aware.
This one's going to be a lot of fun. He said all of 10 words since coming here. If it weren't for the files, I wouldn't even know his name. Nevertheless, he's currently my responsibility.
None of them talk much on the way to the station, or while getting on the monorail. It's only once that they get going that Yukari feels comfortable enough to try and initiate conversation.
We'll have to take the monorail to get there. Bet your last school wasn't like that, huh? This is my favorite part, when it feels like you're gliding over the sea. The girl is pretty, I guess. She'll probably be popular. And if that bubbly attitude carries over to school, no one will be able to keep away from her. I wonder if that's what she wants, though. Looking at the guy, though, I find him much harder to figure out. He's pretty, too. Prettier than her, actually. His hair's a bit emo, but it suits him. That aloof nature will certainly catch the eyes of some girls, but he probably won't even notice. He seems kind of oblivious. Our stop is Port Island Station at the end of the line. From there, we walk. Have you ever heard of Tatsumi Port Island? It's a man-made island. They built our school right in the middle. Oh, look! You can see it now! Probably just a little awkward. Who wouldn't be? Besides, they're tired and new. They'll adjust soon enough. Welcome to Gekkoukan High. You're gonna love it here.
Yeah, sure.
Don't worry. I know it's hard being new, but you'll settle in quick enough. You'll see.
Makoto takes a glance at Kotone. Her body language is subtle, but he's always been able to read it. The little glance she takes at her right arm is most telling of all. She's got sleeves now, but what about the summer? She'll figure something out, no doubt. He wishes she didn't have to. Yukari gives them a quick tour, and Kotone does everything she can to stay jolly throughout it. Makoto doesn't help much, only speaking when spoken to. When it was all done, they found themselves back at the entrance near the lockers.
You'll be fine from here, right? You should go see your homeroom teacher first. Pretty sure you'll both be in the same class. The faculty office is right over there. Any other questions?
No, we're okay.
Great! Hey, about last night. Don't tell anyone what you saw, okay? See you later.
She and Kirijo were both awake during that middle hour. That's never happened before. It's always just been me and Kotone. Well, a part of me was glad to know that they weren't alone in experiencing it. But another part was bitterly annoyed. That single hour that no one else knew of. That was our solace. A time when our foster families couldn't watch us. A time when no one could stop us from just existing. Seeing other others infiltrate that space, annoyed me more than I could say.
Let's get going.
Oh, are you the new students? Makoto and Kotone Yuki, twins. 11th grade, correct?
Yes, Sensei.
Wow, you've lived in a lot of different places. Let's see, in 1999, that was, what, 10 years ago? Your parents... I'm sorry, I've been so busy, I didn't have time to read this beforehand. I'm Miss Toriumi. I teach composition. Welcome to our school.
I'm pleased to meet you.
My, aren't you polite? Girls like you should be an example for others. Have you seen the classroom assignments? You're both in 2F. That's my class. But first, we need to go to the auditorium. The welcoming ceremony will be starting soon. Follow me.
The welcoming ceremony is nothing he hasn't seen before, so Makoto finds himself nearly drifting off during it. Kotone is the same, leaning against his shoulder like she's going to nap on it. It's only about halfway through when he feels her jump suddenly that he comes back to the present. When he looks over, he sees that the boy next to her had tapped her on the shoulder.
Jeez, no need to freak out. Just wanted to ask. You came to school with Takeba, right?
Yeah,
Do you know if she has a boyfriend?
I don't.
I hear talking. I believe it was someone from Miss Toriumi's class.
Quiet!
Breathe, sis.
Class goes by in a blur, as Makoto tries not to think about Kotone directly behind him. The instant the bell rings, he turns around to check on her, and sees that the color has returned to her face. That's good at least. Still, the look on her face is distressing, and he wonders how she'll get through another year of this.
Sup, dude? You look like a deer in headlights.
Who are you?
Whoa. Don't be standoffish. I'm Junpei Iori. Nice to meet you guys. I transferred here when I was in the 8th grade. I know how tough it is being the new kid. So I thought I'd check up on you, make sure you're not freaking out on your first day. See what a nice guy I am?
Personal space.
Nice to meet you too. First time I've seen twins around here. That's pretty cool.
At it again, huh? Honestly, is there any girl you won't hit on? Did you ever think you might be bothering someone?
What? But I'm just being friendly, I swear.
It's alright. He was just introducing himself.
If you say so.
I'm Kotone Yuki.
Ah, Koto-chan, eh? See what I did there?
Koto-chan? Sure, why not?
You, know you don't have to play along with this nonsense, right? Anyway, some coincidence that we'd be in the same homeroom, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Funny, huh?
Hello? Did you forget I'm in the class too? Come on. Let me in on the fun. By the way, do you guys all know each other? I heard you came to school together this morning. A couple of cuties like you, walking side by side? Wow, the whole class was buzzing about you. Plus, it's not all that often you see Yucatan with a guy, am I right? Everyone's wondering about that already.
Could you just cut it out? I hate dealing with rumors like that. I mean, I'm used to it, but he just got here, Don't you feel bad spreading rumors like that?
I don't care.
Well, I gotta go take care of some archery team stuff. Don't try anything funny. You got that, Junpei?
What is she? Your nanny?
She's like our maid. Maybe I should get her a costume?
I bet you guys would really love that. Eh, dude? Well, just to clear something up, I seriously didn't come over here to hit on you or anything. I swear. I I just know what it's like to be in a new city full of strangers, you know? So if you guys ever have a problem, you can tell your old pal Junpei about it.
Thanks, I'll remember that.
Hey, it's time to get out here anyway. No clubs yet, so it's like there's no reason to stick around. You want me to walk with you to the station?
Sure, we could use the company.
Normally, Kotone would turn down any offer like that. Even if she won't admit it, he knows her better than anyone. Her mask is solid at this point, but it's still a mask, and it can slip if she's not careful. Company means forcing smiles, creating conversation, pretending to care. All things Makoto can help with. Fortunately, Junpei seems so carefree that none of that really seems to matter. He doesn't ask about their parents, or last night, or anything else at all, really. The whole walk outside, he and Kotone just chat, trading inappropriate jokes and stupid puns. He can't even remember the last time he saw her this relaxed. Outside, Junpei casually puts a hand on her shoulder to stop her, and Makoto tenses at it. Somehow, Kotone doesn't flinch too much, though, and he removes the hand quickly enough that she keeps her cool.
Hey, check out the jocks on their run. You should join one of the clubs once they start accepting new members, you know. You look pretty athletic.
What about you? You in any clubs?
I used to play baseball.
Used to.
Just didn't work out, you know. Not naturally talented like Yucatan, couldn't balance school and sports.
You know, even if we just met, that doesn't mean you can't tell me what's going on. You got a problem, right? So why don't you tell your old pal Kotone about it?
Damn, you got me telling Pat. Hey, you figure if I skip class, you could do that impression and no one will notice?
Probably. But then he'll cover for me.
Ah, man, I didn't think of that. Well, we'll just have to find someone to do an impression of you, I guess. Shouldn't be too hard, right?
Hey, are you saying I'm replaceable?
They split up at the station, and once more the twins are left alone. The instant he's out of sight, Kotone's smile dies away.
He's nice.
He touched your shoulder.
It wasn't so bad. Twice in one day. I guess I was just ready for it.
Are you going to be okay?
I think so? I mean, I hope so. What about you?
I'll be fine. I'm always fine.
She'll make her friends like she always does, and that's fine, but he knows better. He learned a long time ago not to bother with that at any of these schools. Sooner or later, people discard him, and then he's alone again. Stagnant loneliness is better than being happy for a bit, and then being thrust back down. Still, he doubts very much that he'll be able to keep Junpei away, even if his focus is more on Kotone. He seems overbearing to the point that pushing him away would be almost impossible. That theory is proved right when he gets to class the next day. When the teacher suddenly calls on Junpei in the middle of the lecture, he begs Makoto for the answer, and Makoto whispers it over without fuss. During the break, he thanked him for it, but also had to question him.
I mean, he looks more asleep than me. How'd you know the answer?
I just did.
He's like a sponge. He'll sleep through a whole day and still somehow come out of it and having heard more than the people who are actually paying attention.
Damn, dude! You gotta teach me that.
Personal space.
Junpei and Kotone pretty much leave as soon as the day ends. She looks at him and asks,
You coming, Mako?
Go ahead.
You sure you're okay with him dragging your sister around like that?
Doesn't matter.
He kills time on his own by wandering around the city a bit. Paonia Mall, Iwatodai Strip Mall, the station. All of them seem like decent enough places. It's the shrine where he feels more at home though. It's quiet and calm, except for the noise of a dog that seems to live in the area, and a little girl playing alone. He keeps his headphones on just to make sure no one talks to him, but plays no music just now. The silence is nice, and the ambient sounds of the world are dampened in this place. Evening sets in eventually though, and he decides to head back to the dorm. When he arrives, Yukari and Kotone are waiting for him in the lounge, along with a man he hasn't met. He's a relatively tall man with long hair and sophisticated glasses, and a little stubbly goatee even thinner than Junpei's. Upon his entry, Yukari stands.
Oh, here he is.
Ah, so this is the other new guest. Good evening. My name is Shuji Ikutsuki. I'm the chairman of the board for your school. Ikutsuki. Hard to say, isn't it? That's why I don't like introducing myself. Even I get tongue-tied sometimes. I apologize for the confusion regarding your accommodations. However, it may take a while longer before you receive the proper assignments.
That's fine.
Is there anything you'd like to ask?
Who else lives here?
There are 5 students in this dorm. Yourselves, Yukari, Mitsuru, and a senior named Akihiko Sanada. I hope you all get along.
Why so few people? This is a pretty big dorm.
This is a new building, added recently. The school expects to increase the amount of students attending in the coming years, and so this dormitory was constructed to account for the eventual population increase. Any other questions?
No, not really.
Then I hope you have a successful school year. Now, if you'll excuse me, you must be tired from all the excitement. You should go to bed early. As they say, the early bird catches the bookworm. Please forgive the bad pun.
You'll get used to his lame jokes.
As usual, sleep comes easily to him. The skill of being able to sleep anytime, anywhere, is one that he's nurtured throughout his life, and at this point, it's solidified inside him. It takes only a few minutes for him to pass out once he lies down. Dreams come for him that night, but not the usual ones. He dreams of a blue door, through which is a blue elevator. At the center of the room is a table, on the other side of which is a couch, upon which sits an old man with a long nose. His eyes are bloodshot, and his ears are pointed, but he wears an ordinary suit. He reaches a gloved hand out towards him, though he's too far away to accept it. With a start, he realizes that Kotone is sitting next to him, in a chair just as ordinary as his own, staring ahead. Welcome to the Velvet Room. My name is Igor. I am delighted to make your acquaintance. This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Only those who have signed a contract can enter this place. Henceforth, the both of you shall be welcome here in the Velvet Room. You are destined to hone your unique abilities, and you will require my help to do so. I ask only one thing in return, that you abide by the contract and assume responsibility for the choices you make.
Is this a dream?
Precisely! You are both fast asleep in the real world. Hold on to this. It is the key to the Velvet Room. Until we meet again.